Sean Parker is such a big name. Obviously, we know he's the founding president of Facebook, but is this a sign of startup excess? Let's ask Valley veteran Brad Garlinghouse. Brad's an early-stage tech investor. He served as a senior executive at AOL and Yahoo, known for his peanut butter manifesto on Yahoo spreading itself too thin, and just took a new job as the CEO of file-sharing site YouSendIt. Brad, good for you to join us again.
Thanks. Good to be here.
You've been behind a lot of product launches over the year. Do you think the reaction to this airtime thing is fair or unfair?
I actually think it's generally fair. My experience has been, if you look back in time, whether it's a Facebook or LinkedIn, most of these companies started not with a bang, but with a very focused, how do we solve a problem for a customer? And what Airtime has done, and Color was a recent example where they went out with a huge, we're going to be huge,
right? And
then it kind of didn't quite get the momentum they wanted.
They don't always have the celebrity power that Sean Parker brings, but is this more a story of his connections, or is there a story of startup excess, too much cash being available for startups and then setting the bar that much higher?
I think it's a world where it really is a tale of two cities. I think in the Valley there are some incredibly interesting companies that are building successful businesses very organically and growing at nice growth rates year over year. Then there's another category, I think, that are more focused on how do we build hype and raise money at as high a price possible. That can actually cause other negative dynamics for the employees they're hiring, for the company if they want to raise money, or even M&A or the IPO dynamics.
Sure.
So I think there is a tale of two cities where there's a certain category of companies where there's a lot of hype around them that isn't necessarily, I think, good for the company.
Let's talk YouSendIt. When you left AOL, you had a number of options. Why did you decide on this company?
For me, YouSendIt really is an example of a hidden gem of Silicon Valley. The company and the underlying business dynamics have been exceptionally strong. We'll do around $60 million in revenue this year. We sign up about 50,000 new users every day. We're doing a very good job of converting them. And as an example, we've gone upstream. Last week, we signed our first $1 million enterprise contract for a 20,000 seat site license for a large Fortune 500 company.
And growth is there, there's no doubt. There are a number of players fighting for this piece of the market. Box is one that gets a lot of media attention. I mean, tell us about the story of YouSendIt versus Box. Who's doing better?
Well, Box hasn't disclosed some of their metrics. From what I understand, we are doing better in an absolute basis. I think it does get back to, we're going to focus on how do we create great customer outcomes. And I think sometimes, the slides that they're focusing on are the slides in their offices. Box is clearly a great company. It's a huge category. I think the category itself is probably underhyped. There are companies in the category I think are probably overhyped, but it's a big category. Our on-ramp to that endpoint, we're all kind of headed the same direction. Our on-ramp to that destination has been the sending large files securely with read receipt, things like that. Their on-ramp has been more around storage, but at the end of the day, we're competing for the same outcome.
I mentioned the peanut butter manifesto. It always comes back. Obviously, right now, Yahoo has Ross Levinson as the CEO. Some wondering if he'll become the permanent CEO or not. What have been your observations? Do you think ultimately Ross Levinson will be the CEO to stay?
I'll give Ross a bunch of props. I think one of the things Ross has done that I'm impressed by, we, meaning the royal kind of category and industry, have been talking about the Alibaba Yahoo deal for years. And a week or two into his tenure, he may not have gotten the top tick of the absolute best deal, but you know what? He's moved past it. There's obviously rumors that he's settling or trending towards settling the Facebook litigation. I think that's great because Yahoo needs to focus on Yahoo, not all the stuff externally. They need to focus on how do we build better, more innovative products for our very engaged consumers. And they still have a huge, successful platform and brand. I think Ross is doing a great job so far.
All right, Brad, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely, great.
Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of YouSendIt, and we'll send it back to you.